systematic approach of erasing black contributions to this nation, building this country on the backs of abuse and murder and rape and torture and slavery. And it has continued, attempting to delete thousands of photographs on Pentagon websites depicting black people serving their country valiantly, not promoting people based on race. They've said so many times, well, this is about merit. This is about merit. We want a merit-based system. When the only merit that we can identify is that straight white men are being promoted. This is the headline from the New York Times. Hegseth strikes 2 black and 2 female officers from promotion list. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's highly unusual decision to remove officers from a 1-star promotion list has spurred allegations of racial and gender bias. And why would those allegations exist except for the fact that with their own mouths, they tell us what their motivations are? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is blocking the promotion of 4 Army officers to be 1-star generals, a highly unusual move that has prompted some senior military officials to question whether the officers are being singled out because of their race or gender. This is a secondary issue, but this reporting, I bitch about the New York Times a lot, and I give them praise when they need praise, but this is garbage framing of the story. Some people are saying, well, it is a both sides issue. A lot of allegations are being made. All you got to do is see what they're doing. You just calculate based on what their actions are, New York Times. It's not entirely clear yet exactly what's happening. Then what good are you? 2 of the officers targeted by Mr. Hegseth are black, and 2 are women on a promotions list that consists of about 36 officers, most of whom are white men, senior military officials said. Mr. Hegseth has been pressing senior Army leaders, including Army Secretary Daniel P. Driscoll, for months to remove the officers' names, military officials said. But Mr. Driscoll, citing the officers' decades-long records of exemplary service, has repeatedly refused. Earlier this month, Mr. Hegseth broke the logjam by unilaterally striking the officers' names from the list, though it is not clear he has the legal authority to do so. The list is currently being reviewed by the White House, which is expected to send it to the Senate for final approval. A few female and black officers remain on the list, military officials said. It is exceedingly rare that a 1-star list draws such intense scrutiny from a defense secretary. The battle highlights the bitter rifts opened by Mr. Hegseth's campaign to reverse policies that he says are prejudiced against white officers. Mr. Hegseth has said repeatedly that he is determined to change a culture corrupted by foolish, reckless, and woke leaders from previous administrations. But his heavy scrutiny, especially of female and minority officers, is eroding confidence in a promotion system that is supposed to be apolitical and merit-based, his critics have said. Look, there are quotes in here, and I'm not going to read this entire article. I will link to it below. I would suggest that you do read this. But there are quotes in here from some of the highest levels of people who have been interviewed for this. And I'm only going to get to the one where it's just laying bare that white supremacy under color of law is exactly what they intend for this country. They want to box out of promotional career opportunities for black women because Donald Trump doesn't want to stand next to them. Women who have dedicated their lives and careers and professionalism to this nation, selfless service in combat zones, but they're not worthy to stand next to our racist, credibly accused rapist of children, President Donald Trump. This article is based on interviews with 11 current and former military and administration officials who requested anonymity to discuss sensitive personnel matters. The frustrations with Mr. Hegseth's approach came to a boil last summer during a heated exchange between Ricky Berea, Mr. Hegseth's chief of staff, and Mr. Driscoll about a separate promotion. Mr. Berea, again, that is Pete Hegseth, chief of staff. It doesn't get any higher than that, any closer advisor to that. He is a heartbeat away from actually being in the Oval Office and hearing the President of the United States, understanding what the President of the United States' motivations and wants and desires are, working in tandem with Pete Hegseth. Mr. Berea chastised the Army Secretary for selecting Major General Antoinette Gant, a combat engineer who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, to take command of the Military District of Washington, said 3 current and former defense and administration officials familiar with the exchange. The command provides security and performs ceremonial duties in the nation's capital, and its commander often appears alongside the president at Arlington National Cemetery. And ending where we began, Mr. Berea told Mr. Driscoll that President Trump would not want to stand next to a black female officer at military events, the official said. So those of you who continuously tell me that I'm an alarmist about this, that I'm obsessed with race or social justice, yeah. I am obsessed with social justice, but I am not an alarmist. I am a realist. I view the world through the lens that it deserves, which is reality. Donald